Welcome to the Smorgasbord Podcast, episode 42, where we talk about a variety of different topics, uncensored, unedited, and unfiltered. Uh, Last episode I talked about how I was going to go into bigger detail about how I feel about, obviously it was more about self-reflection and honesty, about how to call myself out on a lot of bullshit, and just more realizations. I'm going to go more into detail about the two pictures I was talking about, which for those who haven't watched it, I talked about these two things I posted on my Instagram, which I swiftly deleted. Uh, Coca-Cola to help me stay awake, and I wrote them, and I still mean them. I just got rid of them because I'm like, there's no reason to tell a bunch of people who don't really give a shit. Okay, so the first one was just realize that 95% of my relationships with people only exist through me, constantly maintaining it, being stubborn and foolish enough to not give up on people. If I had not done that, I would be 10 times more lonely than I actually am. Just saying something because I'm alone all the time. I don't regret it, but I do wish that sometimes people could and would fight for me, like I fight for them. I don't know, just something to think about after being betrayed, used, and abused for a while, and forgiving all of them. I just kind of wish it wasn't that way. For once, I would like to have not have to initiate everything and give people and have people give a half a shit about me like I care about them. Not saying all people don't care, because there are a few. And then I went more deep, and I was like, which I still cringe at it, but I mean it's true. I don't know. I just want to break from this constant pain lull. I don't know what it is, and there is no way to get rid of it. It's like a terminal illness in my blood and bones, or a monster in a cage scratching to get out. I know if I ever let my monster breathe, it would destroy everything. We all have monsters. Mine just happens to be the worst kind of pest. Now, that I still believe. I don't really. There's no other way to explain it except that. I don't know why I wrote that. I wish I didn't, but I bet that when I don't regret those words because those are real. We have those monsters and all that shit. I don't know what my monster could be described as. It's simply a destructive one, and I know if I were to ever let that one out, it would definitely destroy a lot of things I wouldn't want destroyed, and a lot of things that deserve to be destroyed. And it sounds like an anime. It sounds like I'm being dramatic. I wish I was. I always feel like my mind is sick, like it's an illness or something like wrong with it, something wrong with getting up here, up the man upstairs. I mean, I talk to myself all the time. I mean, you kind of, like I said earlier, you kind of have to be gone to your craft or whatever, or gone to whatever you're interested in, because a lot of people won't understand it because it's yours and it's only for you. Oh God, but yeah, I don't know, and it's just the same thing as why I'm like 99% relationships with people are very toxic people. Not all of it's their fault, you know. I don't know if it's what they're put on this earth to be, life has made them that way, or I don't know if it's a phase, but it's just the way they are, and there's no other way to do it. But it's like it doesn't really, it doesn't really like give them. I don't really know even how to go about it because it's like I just know I have to cut off a lot of people because for the betterment of myself. Um, it's gonna suck, but I'm gonna have to end up doing it. But the reason I bring this up is also big things that like I help a lot of people. A lot of people's problems seem sorry for my nose again. It's very in my eyes at least they're very trivial. They're very simple because in my eyes I've met a lot of people before. I met these people, same same people over and over again. When you pay attention to the history, when you pay attention to history, excuse me, you realize that the world happens in cycles. Everything that's happened has happened before, just in a different form, but it's still the same thing. It's the same thing, same things. I've said that countless times in my life. I feel like I've said it multiple times on this podcast, but I've said it multiple times. The world happens in cycles, and to that I can prove that even though being 16, I know what the hell I'm talking about because I have found Oh, text messages. This is so bad. Is this we've talked about this person briefly with me and Alan. There was this girl we knew in middle school named Ryan Smith. Oh, she's in Bermuda now. I think we don't talk. I don't talk to her anymore. At least I don't know if Alan does. Alan was more friends with her. Anyways, he was a simp that and he pissed me off. He pissed me off back then. That was the girl that I was talking about that I said before that was that got mad at me because I said girls shouldn't play football with boys. They should make a real and a double FL league. I'd be all for that, but they shouldn't be playing with sports. They shouldn't have co-ed physical contact sports. And she got upset and shit, and that's when Alan almost broke his arm broken because she tried to attack our friend Kinley, and we and we had to hold her back. That shit is funny. I'll probably tell that story again because I can't recall if I already told that story, but I'll probably tell it after I read these text messages because like if I stumbled upon these after recording the 41st episode, episode 41, yeah. It was this old from 2017. So yeah, I was in middle school back in those fucking shitty days. Oh my goodness, those were so bad. All right, anyways, it just starts off. Quick context here. I spent the biggest problems I look at and see as trivial to me are the relationship ones because they're so simple to me because I've dealt with them for so long. Especially the female side. On the female side, it's even more trivial. Guys, it's pretty straightforward, so it takes a little bit more tinkering. But I mean, girls, it's pretty trivial. It's pretty simple. It's very simple for me, at least. But not that complicated. A lot of people be like, oh, they're complicated creatures. Like, not really. You seen enough of them? You met enough of them? You talked to enough of them? You know how it's going to gauge based on how they are now? You can go ahead and figure out that shit. So, as I run into these people where to quote unquote attract those people. Excuse me. Or to attract those people. Um, attract those people, I guess, that are like this. But I'm looking, and I attract these people because I always talk about it on my podcast, and I'm like, oh my god, these people are just so upset, and I do blame myself for getting involved in them in a way, but in the same time, so I'm sneezing a lot. At the same time, it's like fuck, man. I wish it's like, am I running into them or are there that fucking many? Like there's that. It's got so this girl I was friends with for a while. I had like a slight crush on her, but we never dated. But I was good friends with her. At least I never had a problem with her. You'll see what I'm talking about. And we went ahead and we were friends, but she dated one of my best friends, and I was like, cool. Uh, then she kept running into the same guy over and over again, and you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. And she hated that I wasn't an ass kisser, because just like I wasn't, I changed a lot in from middle school to high school. One thing was always the same. I was not gonna lie to you because it makes you feel better. I was gonna tell you how it was. So she would rant to me how she hated this boy or whatever, cause oh boy, cause she would like date. She was like at our new to our school. She'd been dating like people like she dated like like 7 boys in like 5 months, and it was like I'm not a hoe, and I'm like, okay, girl, all right, man, look, you either fucking with the wrong ones or you a hoe. It's one of those two, all right. So she's ranting about this boy Xavier, who I said not to date her. My friend Marley said not to date him because he's a player. Because we go to a school for a bunch of hood niggas, and them motherfuckers, especially those ones that we knew, didn't really have that loyalty. So we told her. They said we didn't know what we were talking about. What happened? She texted me this paragraph, so she's crying on that shit. How I hate boys, yada yada yada. And they said, "Oh, Marley was upset, and Marley was right." And I'm like, "Oh, who would have thought? Like, who would have thought? Oh my god! Oh my goodness!" And I was just like, and then she's just ranting and ranting. I asked her what happened. She said, "Listen, you have to find the right guy. You're too good for them Too good for them. She was. She was too good for him. I'm sorry. She was too good for him. She was just stupid beyond belief, and she did shit like this. Like, I don't know how she is now. She's a wonderful person, and so she still fucking resents me. But she was stupid back then. I called her stupid then. I'm gonna still think she was stupid now. But it's fine. We move forward. She said, "Thanks, man." I was like, "Are you sure you're being serious?" And she was like, "No, I'm being serious." She was like, "Well," I was like, "Well, hit me up if you need anything, you know." Back then, she was in a dark place. And she was like harming herself, you know, cutting and all that shit, which I had plagued my fucking existence. Plagued my existence in middle school. Woo! Plagued my existence in middle school. That shit, I have to talk about that shit too. Fucking. That shit was self-harm, plagued my existence all the time. Every time. It still does. And I don't get it. It just plagues my existence. It plagues my existence. It's like, holy shit. Like, she was hurting herself and shit. I was just being brutally honest with her and shit. And it made her stop. And then she blamed me for her keep going, which was bullshit. But we'll get to that one too. And I was just like, she's like, I promise I won't cut her. Because we already had the conversation on the bus. I was just like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? That shit won't really help. All right, you know, I'm a nice guy, you know. I'm not a jackass all the time. I am genuine. But she started to hate me. The more and more I got honest with her, the more and more she hated me. All right, it was there. You know what I'm saying? It was man. We move forward. But what's up? So, she was just like, I was just like, we were just talking. And all that shit. And I was just like, you know, you gotta keep, you know, just keep moving forward, keep pushing. You know, we go down this. Are you texting Zori? He only answers right now. Why the hell is? Oh yeah, and then I told you the world happens in cycles. Just like in freshman year, I was playing middleman for that other girl, Megan, who used me. I was playing middleman 3 years ago. No, this is the thing. Here's why I'm getting gas. It's hilarious to me. Because of because I haven't fucking read these in years. So I'm watching along just like you're watching along. Then she texts my nigga, sorry. This is the shit I was talking about. She was just like, oh my god. Oh my god, what the hell? Oh yeah, and she was like, oh shit. Then I remember we started getting more and more arguments because I called her out on her shit. And her being like, oh, you know, I don't date a lot of people. And I'm like, you had 5 boyfriends in 7 boys in 5 months. I got receipt texts, nigga. And she got upset at me, right? And then she got like upset at me because of the fact that I kept calling her out and she said I was just a bad person. And then I was just taking the piss. She on her own Instagram, she wrote this whole essay about me, and I was fucking dying. Oh my god! Like she was like, it was so obvious it was about me. Like if you do anything about me, you knew it was me, and I was fucking dying. I was trolling too. Oh my god. She wrote shit like every intricate detail of our conversations, and I was just like, oh, thinking it would piss me off. It was the funniest shit in the world. I was laughing so hard that day. So I trolled the hell out of her. She was just being a dick to me at that point. I was just being like, I just typed in the comments after all that shit she typed, lol. And she blocked me. And I was fucking dying. Right? And then I think she sent me this randomly. It's just like, all right, we're gonna get to this. This is where my ego comes in a little bit because I'm like, she was like, okay, I don't remember the context of the conversation. All I know is that she sent me this in a snap, and I couldn't read it. I was like, can you please resend that? I couldn't read it. Like, I was being a dick. I was like, I genuinely didn't see what the hell you typed because I didn't give a fuck. But I was like, I was proper curious about what she wrote. She just all I saw was "then leave" in like red letters. I was like this shit. She wrote this shit, and she was like, "Okay, how about you shut the fuck up? Because people have been telling me to cut you off since day one, and I didn't listen. And I have every right to be mad at you and hate you. You make me feel invalid. Sometimes like my opinion don't even matter. So if you got a problem, then leave." Let's get one thing clear: niggas in middle school were hating ass bitches. I don't give a fuck. These are the same people who bullied me because I was different. I don't give a fuck about their opinion. You think I give a damn? Like, what did you say? Like, what did you say? Like, I think I give a damn about anything they say to be. They ain't shit. They never been shit. They will never be shit. I don't care. I don't care. And I was just like, and I guess I was just being like, I have no. I went proper 12 on her ass. I said, I have no quarrel with you, and I've done nothing but be nice and state the truth to you. You don't like it. She was like my mom before. She was like my mom. She was like my mom. My mom was like that for a long time. You told her the truth, she thought it was a personal attack. I'm like, no, it's just what it was. That's the truth. You just don't like it. That's the difference. And then we talked a little bit, but I guess it's like, oh, okay. Then she want to talk about how she's not a hoe and that shit. But then me and my homie Randy, who's this basketball player, shout out to my boy Randy. Shout out to my boy Randall, superstar Randall. Big up Randy. Big up Randy. Superstar Randy. He'll never see this, but big up Randy. There's this basketball player, bro. He's like, cool, dude. We were at this dance. I don't fucking know what dance. It was like homecoming dance. It was at the school. Now, I bring this up because of events that took place. I'm not going to simply. We were bored. It was just me and him. And. By the way, let's make this clear. Ryan is not an ugly person. This is a beautiful girl. To this day, the last time I saw a picture of her, which was probably around 2019, she was a beautiful girl. Her attitude what made me think that she was ugly, but she is a beautiful girl. She's not ugly. Don't get that shit twisted. This is not a slew to her. She is a beautiful girl. I never had a problem with her. Randy had the bad idea to say, I'm gonna go smack her ass and run off swiftly into the darkness because we're both faster than her immensely. Because we're both athletes, we both play basketball. We both literally we would be able. Unless it's dark, we were wearing all black. We were to swiftly go into the crowd and run and hide. So he did it. Her friend, her girl that is a friend, and her gay friend chased after us throughout the night. And we'd be blitzkrieging her. We were blitzkrieging. We were running back, and just about run out. They'd smack her around, and we both swiftly run. I never hit her. Don't get it twisted. I never did that. I was just like, yo, chill. He kept doing it. I was like, yo, bro, you'll get me whooped too. So I had to book it too. We then booked it to the boys' bathroom, and they were way out there for us, right? Then, shit. She then started to like him after that. And I was like, oh my God. This girl is a glutton for punishment. But, who am I? What do I know? Yeah, I was joking around being like, you about to hook up with his ass and shit. Lie. I was fucking around, right? And she was like, I was just joking around. I was just like, let me get this straight. He slaps your butt twice, then you spend the whole night chasing. Then you talk in private to give your Snapchat for no reason. So we can tell you like him. Just because I like the dude doesn't mean I'm acting I want to get a relationship time after time. Everything's gonna be alright. Shit wanna go left. I'm not about ready for that to happen again. Okay. So one, you do like him. Two, this keeps happening for you at the same time. Why does it keep happening? You keep going to the same dudes over and over again. Yeah, if you're learning from your mistakes. It was like, hey, I'm saying just saying facts. Looks like you need a choice. Either go down a path you keep going, get played, and one day being so sad you kill yourself, or prioritize yourself and looking at dudes that will look at you more than a piece of ass just to pass around to the flock. This is what I said in 2017. I was like 13 or Yeah, I was like 13, 14. If I was thinking this way now, what the hell do you think like right now? Like, I was saying this shit to you back then. I ain't saying this because I'm a hater. I ain't saying this because I never got to hit. Don't get shit twisted. I ain't care about you. I'd say keep going or come over to my place. We can chill and I would have hit. Don't get this shit twisted. I cared about this girl. and then and then she was like, "Oh, do you have practice every morning with basketball?" So, okay, I just read that shit. All right. So then she started asking, hey, because we play basketball every day in the mornings in 8th grade. We played basketball every day in the mornings. That's how we train for the basketball team. That's how we just have workouts every day in the morning. It was just full-on scrimmages on court. And we were like, and she asked one day, because, she liked Randy, the fuck, and she was like, hey, do you guys still have basketball in the mornings? I was like, yeah. Yeah, we do. And she's like, I'm coming on Monday. I'm like, oh, okay. I just said, okay. I listened to that because I knew what it was. And she said some shit. I won't pop up, but I was like salty. She's like, "How am I salty? I stole a bitch's man, and now he minds." She's black, by the way. Oh, I don't know why that. No, I was just like, so I was right. It has nothing to do with Randy breaking up with his previous girlfriend. All that said, salty. You looked in the photo, and it was a joke. I mean, I ain't know he had a girlfriend until they broke up, but okay. And I'm like, cap, tremendous cap, stupendous cap, oleandous cap. Rick and Mortis count. It's not even words. It's like it's just tremendous. It's absolutely absurd. I need a thesaurus for other words to describe this shit. This just attitude was baffling. Oh man. Oh my. Okay, I need to calm down. Like it's about to go down basement. Like yes sir. Like oh, is she like, oh, I'm reading it too. Oh, shoot. And she dated Justin for a little bit. And can I even talk about it? No. All right, I had to pause it because I was freaking out. Because I was reading some shit and I was like, I don't know if I can say it. But one of the niggas she was fucking with, she was fucking at the same time or whatever. She was cheating. She was basically doing bullshit that she deserved this type of treatment in a way. Right? So, excuse me. Ow. All right. That hurt. All right. And she was like, this is some bullshit or whatever on her story. I guess I didn't see it. Excuse me. I apologize. And she was like, I was like, oh, what happened? And sorry, I had to go take some allergy medicine because I know Coach Shay's probably going to rip my head off by me sneezing and all that shit. Anyways, she keeps on talking about how the same guy, because Randy, sorry, I love you, but you at that time in life, I don't know how you are now, but you were the same guy that kept fucking her over. I told her this. She did not listen because she is dumb at that time, okay? And he was like, she basically rants about how he's just like, he does not, he's could messing with somebody else. And so it's like, so tell him that. He's like, I know, but it's like I'm overreacting. He just fucks everything. It's like, look, Ryan, you have more confidence in what you think. Don't be afraid to ask at the end of the day. It's just a question so you can also be sure about y'all's relationship. And it was just like, and then she just talked about how she doesn't want to fuck up the relationship by being like jealous and all that shit. I was just like, talk to him. And she was like, can you talk to him? Because once again, playing the middleman because I'm a fool. Anyways. And I said, I'll try my best. He said, okay, thanks. And also, and I'll say, you can't wait for him to change his mind every 5 seconds. Like I love the dude, but if he was indecisive, he doesn't want you. Like, dude's also younger than you. Like, come on, man. Like, he doesn't like, come on now. Like, what? Come on now. Like, come on now. Like, come on now. So at the end of the day, he can't make a decision that he's going to. As I said, you can't wait for him. You can't make your life around by his decisions. But I'll talk to him because I'm a nice guy. I'm crying, still crying a little bit. I'm good. Well, that had been happening. It's just like she was talking about. All right. Let me see. When the hell when the hell was this? Like, yeah, this was. She kept cutting me off. We kept talking about how she hated me and all that shit, but then she would come back for information. Because why? Because I am wisdom. Like, I don't think you understand. I am wisdom. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. And we're just talking about shit. Okay. She was okay. So I guess we're just talking about whatever. Uh, okay. So then I guess this was when that other girl put me in the hospital because I stayed up for like a week straight talking about how she tried to kill herself and shit. And basically, I told her that, and she was like, "I don't know what to tell you." She really give a fuck with me. Okay, she was a dick. I told you she was a dick to me, but I mean, it's whatever. Uh, we talk about teachers and all that shit. And she was back on her bullshit, back on her bullshit. Because she was talking about a nigga named Arnaldo, you know. It was like, well, what are the things you had to do it, bro? You had to do it. 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 And she went on Tinder and found Chase by fucking Draper. And I was joking. Oh, and this was the fucking nail in the coffin, bro. She would always talk about her problems on the bus because we always rode the bus together. And we all knew this shit. Was like, nigga, you fucking bug it, you fucking. And I made this joke, bro. And I said this shit on the joke, and I said this shit on Snapchat. I was like, this she like a newspaper and a picture of her, but it wasn't like a real good picture of her. It was just a picture of her, bro. She was ranting, and I was obviously bullshit. I made it so evident I was bullshit. I was making it crystal clear, like the waters of Fiji, that I was bullshit. So I said she like a newspaper. She got a new problem every week. And she was like, I swear to fucking God, Michael, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't even have a problem. I was like, it's a joke. Calm down. It didn't have to do with you. You told me today. What you told me today. So relax. All right. Then she's asking me for another niggas in that Snapchat that I was cool with because she, surprise, surprise, she liked them. And were they all the same dude? Yes. And then I guess we were talking, and I sent her two fights that happened at school that I called the Ratchet Royal Rumble. And when Arnaldo fought this dude, and stomped the ever living. That snuck up on him. There, so I do all this trolling to bring this up because of the fact that I bring this up for two facts, two reasons. I The world happens in cycles. I know what the hell I'm talking about because of the fact that I've run into these people millions of times, and I have to put my foot down and get rid of them. As in relationships, as far as long term, friend wise, and romantically wise, because unless they change for the better, I can't see myself being happy with someone who thinks like that. There's someone who operates on that level of field because they don't give me anything. They don't offer me anything. And obviously, the first half of this episode was just me screaming and hooting and hollering. But in all seriousness, this is just, there's so many times that specifically females, we'll go female too, because I haven't had that many interactions. The only interaction I've ever had someone who operated like that really that I've been cool with to this day still is Alex. Like my friend Dan, he was just fake as shit, and he was a sheep. He just followed the crowd. I mean, to this day, he still follows the crowd. Very obviously, he does. I don't really talk to him at all. My friend David, he's a sheep. He didn't really think. He doesn't have common sense that much, so we fell out because he tried to lecture me about how my family should operate and all that. I was just like, "You're stupid as shit," but okay. But on the girls' side, there was, you know, uh, so obviously shit started to break. I always talk about how I snapped in like eighth grade, but like I mean, it were like breaking points that led up to that. There were breaking points that led up to that. Oh my god! That led up to those moments. Like there was the one time, where I talked about how this girl. I don't know if I told it on the story, but I'll say it here. I'll say the story here. I'll say it here. And we're back. I do apologize. I had to change and go wash my face and my hands because the room I was sitting in, there the cats were in there. I guess it was giving me allergies, and I took medicine beforehand, but I had to get out. It was closed. Whew. So that was me forgetting what I was talking about. Jesus. Whew. So, anyways, so anyways, oh man. But yeah, the story behind me going into the hospital. Uh, it wasn't anything too serious. It was like years ago. Jesus. It was this girl that I had a crush on. I don't even remember. I think she got banned from. I think she got had to be homeschooled because she got caught giving head in the bathroom. Pretty sure. This girl named Alana, Russian chick. Uh, there was another girl who plagued me with cutting herself, plagued me with making me the middleman, and she one night told me she was cutting herself, and I was just like, "Fuck!" But I was like flipped out. This was when I was already being bullied, and home life was shit, school was shit, everything. This is when I started snapping because it really changed my perspective, and I remember I didn't sleep for that. I didn't sleep for like 3 or 4 days. I already struggled with sleep. I didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days, and she never apologized for that. She never really acknowledged it. She was very self-centered for that. And I remember asking, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And then all of a sudden, I felt a sharp pain, like I can't see where I'm grabbing, but like right on the side of my stomach where my appendix was. And it was sudden. Like it wasn't like a gradual belly ache because I already can't handle stomach aches. But I was using the bathroom. I was just regularly peeing, standing in the urinal, and then it went, and I was like, "Oh!" And I yelled. I almost dropped to the floor because it was so sudden. I went to the hospital, and it was like my body was shutting down because of it. It was like all it was like a severe intestinal blockage. But because of that, I got a migraine. And my body was just started shutting down on me, and it was just a miserable time. It was a miserable time. I stayed in the hospital for a day, and I was just out of it. And I was like, and she found out and all that shit, and she kept trying to put me back in those situations. And I kind of had enough of her. I said, "You put me in that situation. You did that as well as like you're guilty of it, almost as much as I am for me being a stupid for letting you do it." So I said, "I'm done. I'm done." And I don't to this day I don't know if she ever forgave. I don't know if I said I forgave her a while ago, but I was like, still, like, you wasn't shit for that. You were never really my friend. You just used me, which was true. Whether she meant it or not, all she did was use me. So I had to deal with it accordingly. I had to get rid of her. So I've done it before. There's also another girl that tried to kill herself that I'm still kind of cool with. She was an ex of mine, and she called me just to try to kill herself on the phone, and I just had enough. I just fucking hung up on her ass. I talked about her before her daily. Uh, talked about her before. It was Daily, the one I said watch almost every episode that I've made. That she gave a shout out to. That I was cool with. I got cool with again, but it was because. But the reason we fell off was because we were dating on and off, and she let this fucking other idiot cover up her mind. So I was like, okay, cool. We broke up, whatever. Then she went back to just falling around, I guess, or whatever. And then she went ahead. She was like, I'm okay with myself. I'm just like, bro, chill out. You ain't gonna do any of that shit. And she grabbed. She had this bottle of pills. She had the pills in her hand. Right? She said, "I need to go get some more." And I just hung up on her as I said, "Click." And then she called back and answered. She was like, "I was just like, don't leave. Everybody leaves me on that shit." And I hung up on her. And I called. I said, "I just said I had to go." Click. I told my mom. I was just like, "Hey, yeah, I'll just let you know I'm good and all." But that's what was happening. And I wrote this big ass paragraph. I said, "I think we should be stop talking because what you did was selfish. What you did was poor. And what you did was." I think I gave her ass a real reality check with that. Whether I realized it or not, I just didn't talk to her for a long ass time. I didn't. I don't remember. I think she hit me up first, and now we're cool. I guess she doesn't really talk to me. Should be like, I prefer it that way. I guess in a sense because I mean I would want to obviously I obviously would love to hang out with her, talk to her more, but if it means going back to that place to where she uses me as just an emotional sponge, like in the future lines Megan did. The Megan that got Alan's ass kicked, like in the past, put me in the hospital. I think that's why I have to do, looking back on it, I have to do what must be done, and that is I have to get rid of a lot of people. A lot of people I don't want to get rid of, but I know better for me. And I have to just kind of just put my head down and just work. Because I do want a relationship, a good one. But I don't know. Looking back on it, I can tell that I need to more focus on myself. But I'm still just trying to get the ability to balance it because I don't think I have to cut him out. I don't think I have to. I don't know if it's wishful thinking or being naive to it, but I kind of just have to I have to get off of that out of that space and just be like, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna work on me. I mean, I've always been working on me. I'm always never gonna stop. I always try to put myself first, but I always end up falling last. And the biggest problem with putting others first, with me specifically, but in general, is that you've taught them that you come last. And it's a bad thing to teach people. It's a bad habit I have. I've sacrificed everything for a lot of people because of the fact of I have I give and give, and I know I never expect anything in return. I don't do it for a reward. Excuse me. I just do it because it's right. And it's just like I have to live with, and I have to make that decision because I don't know, man. I don't know. I have to figure that out. I have to really figure that out and be honest with myself. Um, and I think it's just allergies now at this point. I do apologize. It is allergies. All right, I had to take a break to clear my face up. But yeah, all those situations, all those things that's happened, I just have to learn from my past and just have to. I have to really take a look in the mirror and just realize what it is I have to do. And even though I'm young, and I'm still gonna I'm gonna have fun the best way I can because that's really what life is. one of the things that life is kind of is about, and a lot of people forget. I truly believe that I truly believe that that's something I have to do. I have to get rid of a lot of people, and I have to really buckle down and focus and work on priorities. And when I do that, I think it'll work. Uh, because um, there's a saying that I was also learned last night from Derek was money is cheap, time is expensive. Another thing I also learned was that like you know the young currency versus old currency. He always explained this to me. He was like, right now I am supremely wealthy because when you're young, your currency is youth. Your currency, what makes you rich is youth. As you get older into the real world, the currency changes from youth to actual money. Me being a child, because my youth presents greater opportunity to mess up and fail, and not only not start from scratch, you start from experience, and being able to keep on doing that is what is rich now. So when the real currency changes from youth to money, you maximized your currency as a young, which was youth, to make the best currency, which is money. And it sounds like a business, and this is really the talk of life. I'll probably have him on here to explain more in depth because I'm severely paraphrasing, but he could better go in depth about something like that. So, I mean, it's just something to really think about, and I believe when I truly grasp about, it's figure out. I know who I am, so figure out what I am. That's a really phrase I have to work on because I still have to figure out what I am. What is it that makes me so different from people? I know like parts of who I am are what because it makes me different, but I mean, there's something there's like an it factor in every person, and there's something that is it for me that makes me different. I have to figure out what that is, and I still have a lifetime to figure that out. Talking like I'm old, but I mean I'm 16. I haven't even lived life yet. It's just something to really think about. It's just left me pondering about my future. It's just, but I think I'm gonna do voice acting. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. I think that's one of the many things because I've always actually wanted to be not an actor per se, but to be in like something like Star Wars, Clone Wars, something like The Mandalorian, something big like superhero movies, something big like superhero movies. Who wouldn't love to do that? And then the podcast, and then my business, and then all that. Just working on that, and the more I work on that, the more I work on myself, and the better off it will be, and it can trickle down to all facets of life. But one thing I would never do is striving to be perfect. I will never do that. I will never strive to be perfect, nor should anyone. Because you see, when you're perfect, or when you reach perfection, there's it kills creativity. You should never be perfect. Never try to be. It kills creativity. It kills the ability to improve. It honestly, that's a way of saying you can only go down. You set a ceiling on yourself that you can't push past because it's the best. I mean, it's not the best. It's great. You can push to be the best, and the best can always be improved through time. But to be perfect is just saying there's nothing left for it to do. It has no purpose anymore. It can't keep going. You know, when you see a business and they have a perfect thing, and it's only centered around one thing, like WWE, life moves on, companies move on. Companies have to move on with it. WWE, if it only centered around Hulk Hogan and the name Hulk Hogan only, the minute Hulk Hogan left, that business should have failed. If the company surrounded itself around John Cena, the company would have ended back in 2016, would have crashed because you haven't built anything, but you built around a person, you built around a name. The company's gonna move on without John. Company moved on without John Cena. Company moved on without Hulk Hogan. Company moved on with Andre the Giant. Company's gonna move on without Roman Reigns. Company's gonna move on without Paul Heyman. Company's gonna move on against Brock. Will move on without Brock Lesnar. Someday the company's gonna move on without Vince McMahon. It just is. It's supposed to do that. It's the same thing. But to create something perfect to be like, oh, it's perfect for this time. I'm like, yeah, but you have nothing else to. It doesn't surrounded by anything. It's surrounded by one thing only, and not a general idea. And having to it limits and destroys the things you can do with that with so many things. And when that per thing leaves, you have nothing. So you can't aim for perfection. You can aim to be the best. But if you aim for perfection, you're aiming to kill creativity. You're aiming to kill improvement. And that's just something that you really shouldn't do. You really shouldn't do because of the fact that you really shouldn't do because um once you reach that, that's it. You no longer have a purpose or an ability to keep going. So therefore, you must die. With things that don't have a purpose anymore, they either die or they adapt. That is the law of life. It is the law of business. It's the law of everything. So I just have to keep on improving, keep on working on that. I see my life going very high. I just have to make sure I can still grasp that vision and not let it drift off. I don't let it get to my head. Still learning, still trying to be open to learn, and I just being able to take a step back and really look at everything. Because sometimes you have to back up to go forward. Now, thank you all for watching. This is another episode of the Smorgasbord Podcast. Stay safe. Love y'all. Bye bye.